we would leave the bar at 2 a.m. They'd be like, yo, you want to come to this after party? Absolutely. We were yes men. We didn't say no to much. Anything that was coming, it's like, oh, you want to do this? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're in.
Tight. All right. Well, this is Nobody Gets a Podcast, and this one's a special one because I got one of my very old, long, great friends, Noah, on here. Noah M. Baby.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Danny.
Oh, of course, man. I'm happy we made time because I've started to put together this podcast, and I kind of got inspired on this podcast for what you and Joey, aka Huey Mack, our friends, you guys put on a podcast, and I kind of saw, I'm like, man, that could be freaking cool to do.
Yeah, we were winging it, that's for sure. I mean, it was fun to do. Joey and I both have good relationships, so we got some pretty cool guests on it, and it was a lot of fun doing it. I mean, when you have these personal conversations with people, it's nice to get out things that you don't normally talk about. Like if we saw each other out and about, we wouldn't, dive deep into, our past and stuff like that. We would just be like surface level. Yeah. And just be like, boring conversations compared to like when you actually sit down and do this.
Yeah, exactly. There's like cool deep history that comes out of it that like we'll kind of talk about right here a little bit, but also like what I found, because you're now like the 7th episode in the order we're doing. I think we've done like 8 or 9, but like I would strategically want you in like the order how I have this lineup. But this has been really educational, like listening back, and the people I've had on are like artists and managers, directors, and everyone kind of has a theme of like what nobody gets about that career choice. And I don't know, I was just like, dude, I need Noah because we've known each other now like 15 years.
Yeah, since early college days.
Early 2008.
Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
Dude. I think 2008 was my sophomore year, your freshman year.
Yeah,
it was the good times.
Dude, it was great times. And like right when I came in, like there was you, there was Flynn, obviously, there was Hunter, Chris Johnson.
The homies.
They were the homies, man.
No, still to this day.
Yeah. I think I actually just saw something on Facebook where you just repost, you just like comment on something 13 years ago. Like, yep. You just put yep.
I just get these, the flashbacks, the memories on Facebook. Sometimes you see them and you're just like, man, I just want to throw some, like make sure people see this one.
Yeah.
This was a fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always randomly do that.
Yeah. There's a special bond we got at Coastal that like we came out here, and there was a few of us that were out here. Yeah, I came out here in 2014, because I was in New York, and you were 2014?
Yeah, May of 2014.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy Nick Chicanis drove across the country with not much. We had about $2,000 to our name between the two of us. We didn't really have a place to stay. We were literally just winging it completely.
Playa del Rey, if I remember.
Yeah, that's where we ended up landing.
What was the pool bar you guys always would be at?
Moe's.
Yeah.
Moe's in Playa del Rey.
Yeah.
We got out here, and his cousin John was like, I got a couch for you guys. Like, sure, you can stay on it.
Yeah.
So we had the car that was fully packed, and he had a tiny 2-bedroom apartment, so we weren't going to unpack the car. So we literally had a Prius that was completely full of clothes and all of our belongings, and we would bring in like a bag at a time, live in this apartment on like a sectional couch that we would both sleep on.
I remember that.
And we probably did that for like 6 months before we had the means to be able to buy our own place, or not rent our own place.
Yeah.
Because again, that $2,000, we probably spent $700 of it going across the country, had like $1,300 left between the two of us, and then neither of us found work right away because again, you have to explore a little bit to see where you want to work. And yeah, we literally got jobs when we probably had like $100 between the two of us left, like eating dollar. But at the time, dollar menu was actually $1. It's not as bad as it is now.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about the inflation of spot. We were like, Spotify went up, and then I think one of the interns was like, yeah, have you seen the McDonald's menu too? Or like,
dude,
oh shit.
It's wild. Like we literally would get like dollar menu, and it would actually like help us survive, or like the $5 footlong at the time. Yeah, we survived off a lot of fast food and just, figuring it out. But it's crazy how far we've come from then. Yeah.
I mean, and then I moved out a little bit after, around the same time, and I had this like house in Los Feliz with 3 other Coastal guys as well.
Yeah, Alex.
Alex and Pat.
Yeah,
and you guys were over a lot too, and we had our friends stay a lot.
Yeah, we tried to get out of John's apartment as much as possible just to kind of spread out our stay. Like if we knew people visiting, we'd be like, hey, where are you staying? You got extra space?
Yeah.
And we'd go stay with them. Like that's how we got really close with Huey, because Huey was always my friend from Baltimore. He dated a girl that I like known since I was like probably first, second grade. And when he came out here, he would come out here to be recording music.
Yeah.
And each time he came, he would have an Airbnb. And me and Nick were like, yo, you need some help over there at the Airbnb?
Yeah.
And we'd go stay with him the whole stint he would be here. And at the time, he's like working with now massive producers like Louis Bell, stuff like that. So that was a pretty fun experience to like kind of learn the music side of things. Also, multiple times when he did the song with Afrojack, we were in the studio with him. Me and Nick like barely have jobs, barely have money. We're like in these studio sessions, like what the hell?
Afrojack and like Twista.
Twista.
I remember that video where he was in a casket.
Dude, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Flo Rida, like multiple artists are coming through, and me and Nick are in the studio like, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah.
But figuring it out.
Well, that's dude, figuring it out. Nobody gets it how you get there, but you did it. And then I remember you guys, and speaking with Huey, like then you three all just bunked up in a house.
Yeah, well, that was a weird house. So after our first spot that we got, it was kind of Culver, but like
it was kind of close to over here. Venice and it was off Venice Boulevard.
Yep, it was Venice and La Cienega pretty much, and we found a house that was renting out rooms in the house.
Yeah, big house, like 7 bedrooms, but each room was a different tenant.
All random people. Like the most random people you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
And me and Nick, we got a room, and we shared a room in the beginning. We put 2 mattresses in the corner of the room, and both had our little bit of space.
Yeah, but then you added Joey to the mix. There's 3 all in that house.
Because Joey was touring and like working, doing, and he would only be here for a little bit at a time. Like he wouldn't be staying for long, and then he would stay with us because it was like, why not? Like save money, no more like wasting money on Airbnbs. And we didn't care. Like we were as much as we worked because we were bartending and serving. So like our shifts were like 8-hour shifts. So there'd be time where it'd be only 2 of us, and it would kind of like rotate.
Yeah.
But what was I getting at with that?
I mean, dude, it's just bunking up like that.
Yeah, how ridiculous it was. It was any like time girls would come over, they'd be like, "What is going on? Like, you guys all 3 live in this room." Like, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
But we were making it work. It was very early in our LA days. We didn't really know too many people yet. Nick and I would just meet people going out because we would go out a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. We would drink probably 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
It's not great, but...
Well, anyone that doesn't know you that's listening on this, like Noah has always been one of the most genuine, truest friends you can have.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, for real. And I've been lucky that we've been here now 10 years in LA, known you for 5 prior. But like speaking to that, like you and Nick could go out to a place and make friends with anybody, and it's not even just like friends. You're like now like, oh, I'm like living on the guy's couch next week if I have to because we're best friends.
That's one thing we've always been good at, is just kind of being genuine and real to people, and building relationships just like from scratch. Just out of nowhere, you meet someone and within 30 minutes they're like, oh, I like these guys. Like let's hang out. And again, that's like how we would meet people. Like we'd leave the bar at 2 a.m. They'd be like, yo, you want to come to this after party? Absolutely. We were yes men. We didn't say no to much. Anything that was coming, it's like, oh, you want to do this? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're in. You want to leave this bar to drive to a pool bar in K-Town at 2 a.m.? We're in.
Been there.
And that's, again, how we just started to make relationships in this town. And then when Joey came, he was pretty big on getting us into, like, the cooler scene, I guess, more like the Sunset scene, the On the Rocks scene.
Yeah.
Like the first time we ever went there was him bringing us there because he had relationships with like Cisco Adler and the Adlers. And that's kind of how we kind of got to that scene. But there was definitely a huge struggle in the beginning. But once Joey was fully moving out here, it was when we were going to make the move to West Hollywood.
You got that house.
And we got that house.
Legendary house.
Yeah, that was a big move for us. It was 5 of us in a 5-bedroom house.
Yeah.
Right in West Hollywood.
Right in West Hollywood, like right off of 3rd, right? And it had a pool.
Pool in the backyard. It was like our entourage house.
It was an entourage house for sure. Me and Waz were talking about it on like last week we did an episode, and me and Waz met there.
Yeah.
Like now we're this tandem director producer, but how he started off was like, it's funny because he started like, and today we met at Huey Mac's house and this and that, and I was like, is that how we met? He's like, yeah, and he pulled up the picture, and it was like I brought my drone over, and like Mike Stud was over. And but yeah, dude, that's how me and Waz met, and he was working with Futuristic. But to the point being, like your guys' house was an entourage style house, man.
100%. And Huey, again, it kind of goes back to Huey just having all those connections in music, like these up and coming artists who are have either grown to being huge artists or like are still doing it, trying to make it. And we got to meet I got to meet all those people just from being around him. He would, again, Mike Stud, Futuristic, Mod Sun, like all of them, and then all the people they work with too, like all the creatives on the other side, like Gordy. I mean, again, we all had that struggling part of our beginning of LA story. Gordy at one time was sleeping on our couch, you know, because he was struggling and we had no problem doing it. And now Gordy he owns his own creative company, Studio Paralo, where he's doing stuff for everyone. He does all of Mike Posner's art. He was the head of creative designer at Girl Skateboards. Like,
oh shit,
yeah,
I think I remember that scene on Instagram. Or something.
Exactly, it's just like wild how like you need those little bit of steps to get you to your next spot. And yeah, that house was definitely one of those places. We shot multiple music videos there. I had friends from home like reach out. Is this your place that you live in? I see you post it all the time. And then I saw this futuristic video in the backyard. Like, is that your house? I was like, yeah.
I actually did
sleep in that house.
I did my first rap video there. My first directing rap video, Jimmy Wapo and Sunny Digital. Do you remember that?
Oh my god! Yeah, on the stoop.
On the stoop in the front, dude.
We were drinking 40s out front.
yeah. We're gonna have to show that video.
R.I.P. Wapo.
I know, dude.
Fuck, man.
I know. Yeah, Taylor Maglin, another coastal guy, gave me the opportunity. It was my first directorial like rap video in 2016. It got on World Star and everything.
Yeah,
Premiere,
I remember that.
And set me off like with some of that train. But yeah, like needed a house, and you guys let me shoot a scene in the backyard and the front yard.
It's perfect.
Yeah, dude, like, it's so funny. Like, yeah, Sunny Digital and Jimmy Wapo in the front yard.
Sunny's huge.
Sunny's huge.
Yeah,
huge producer.
I remember him coming through. I was like, is this really happening right now?
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
it
dude.
was funny, man.
Yeah, so that house was really, and that kind of even again inspired me a little bit to bring why I have Dojo House now, because I saw the community you guys had with people at the house.
Yeah,
and having me and Wade were talking about in one of the first episodes, cultivating a space is so important in this town, especially, and like having
people feel comfortable.
Yeah. Safe, and we were just talking about it before we started, like the safe environment kind of situation, and you guys definitely provide that for artists, and I'm providing that over here for creatives. And it's really special when you have like a good space where people can come hang out, and there's so many people that are like, you know, kind of coming out here and starting out in 3 or 4 years from now, they're like massive.
Dude, it's crazy how many like we've become friends with just at their smaller days, and now just seeing where they are now, it's like unreal.
One thing crosses my mind was Khalid.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean,
he was over there.
That was the Justin Escalona.
Yeah,
days.
Justin.
Justin also was another person that you know.
Talk about another creative that blew
very
the fuck
creative.
up.
Yeah, blew up.
I mean, he was blown up when you guys were with him, but now he turned success, like he turned that passion
to a full business.
Yeah.
I mean, kid owns a clothing line.
Yeah.
Does a little bit of everything. Never have a bad word to say about him. He's a good friend. Was always there. Again, he would bring kids around. That was Khalid. Was like, location hadn't even really hit yet. Like, he was at our place. We took him to, what's the burger joint? Not In-N-Out, but the
Fat Burger.
No, it just came to like the West Coast.
Umami.
6 years ago. No, whatever. We took him to one of the burger spots for his first time ever. He's like, "Oh, I've never been to this place," and I'm like, "It's a pretty cool burger spot." And next thing you know, he's like the biggest artist in the world. Like, literally was like huge on Spotify.
2017, 18, he had
he was winning Grammys. I was like, what is going on? That kid was at my fucking 5-bedroom house with a bunch of bros.
Yeah.
Like, not even that long ago.
Yeah. And they stayed humble and true. Do you hang out still with Justin or still say what's up to all y'all? And just, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't get to see Justin as much anymore, but we're still, nothing would change if I saw him.
That's how you are, man. I mean, that's how you are with everybody. And that's what's true about you. Like, you always keep relationships really well with people, and you know, it speaks volume to your character.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, again, it all comes back to just being real, being yourself, and not like chasing these relationships, you know, or again, someone was talking to me about clout chasing the other day, and I was like, I mean, I could be a clout chaser if I wanted. No, I'm saying if I wanted to be, I could be like, all right, I can jump around, but I've never been that way. I've never wanted to jump on someone else's success just because they were successful. It was more, I just want to be genuinely friends with them. If they want to be friends with me, then cool. And luckily, I have been able to make those relationships.
Yeah, you want to be friends with them, and you provide a service that you see could benefit and bring value to them. I mean, you know, we can talk about all the jobs you kind of had at the beginning. You brought some value at those waiter jobs where you said jobs. 8 to 10 in 2 years.
Serving tables. I mean, started at Barney's Beanery. We did Culver Hotel. We did.
What was that one in Rodeo?
There's a 208 Rodeo.
Yeah.
STK.
Yeah.
Tart. There's a lot of
A
restaurants
lot
I
of
was
restaurants. But then you landed at this one that you worked at for a while, not a restaurant, but a bar.
on the rocks.
On the rocks.
Yes,
and
yes.
legendary. I mean, if people don't know this who are listening, I mean, this is one of the most iconic spots in Hollywood.
On Sunset Boulevard. It's been there since what? I think it's like 1957, I want to say. Or no, 73, sorry.
No, you're good, yeah.
73, because they're just about to hit their 50-year reunion, and they're having Neil Young perform at it, which is pretty dope, because he played the first show ever there as well 50 years ago. So.
Yeah, so yeah, Roxy, the popular venue on Sunset, and then there was a bar on the rocks on the top.
Above it.
Right.
Exactly.
And they even had like the Jack Nicholson room, and like this is where all those guys were partying. And
my first day ever working there, I like come in, bow tie, suspenders, like all dressed up for my like first bartending shift. I'm nervous as shit. I get in, I'm like, don't really know what to do yet. My manager was like, all right, those two guys over there, just take care of them. Anything they need, just make sure they have it. And I'm like, all right. So going over, it's these two older guys. I'm like, you guys good? Everything okay? They're, yeah, we're fine. Can I get a bottle of water? Like, just so nice, easy. Get them water. Just keep checking on them. No big deal. They in, out, they left. And then we started like get ready for the night and open up. Later in the night, I'm like, who were those old dudes I was like, treating like royalty over there? He was like, dude, that was royalty. That was Neil Young and that was Tom Petty.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? Like, I had no idea because I was so focused and nervous. Like, all right, I can't fuck this up.
Yeah.
Didn't even recognize either of them at the time just because I was just in the zone. Like, again, very nervous of my first day.
Yeah.
And that was my first day at On the Rocks. And
wow.
then from there, it just like poured on. I met everyone up there from Halsey, MGK, Post Malone, a lot of smaller artists like Kyle, Mod Sun. Again, there's so many. There's the influencers at the time.
Yeah, I mean, Kylie would be coming up there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
I mean, we had Kylie, Kendall multiple times, Selena Gomez.
Yeah, Selena Gomez. I remember the
events
photo
like
booth
that.
stuff,
And and I would be kind of just like working the bar. And when you're working the bar, everyone has to talk to you. So
they got your name. Yeah.
Occasionally, like, dude, the first time MGK came back and he was like, Noah, what's good, my boy? I was like, oh, shit. He remembered my name. I couldn't believe that one. Yeah. That one was like, I was pretty pumped about that.
Yeah. I have a good MGK story at the Rocks. Do you remember, like, this is like May 2019 after I Think I'm Okay. And we came to the Rocks with Travis and Youngblood and performed there.
And they were hanging upside down on the rafters.
Yeah.
That was an epic one.
Yeah, that was epic. We like shot the show in like Anaheim, I think. And we were like on the bus with Waz and rolling back up to LA, and he like calls Youngblood, was like, yo, meet me at Roxy, and like we'll do like TMZ was out there, and he jumped like MGK like somersaults off the tour bus into the crowd. Dude, and we go up there, Travis pulls up playing the drums. It just was like, and the thing with the Rocks, on the Rocks, it's not a big place.
It's small, it's tiny. It's like 150 person occupancy, but we would always fill it to like 200. Like people were like slammed in there like sardines. Can't move.
You got to know the code word with Barry at the door.
I mean, honeys. You just got to bring honeys.
That's
all you got to do.
I just said Noah, and he was like, all right, yeah, you're this college boy. All right. It was cool seeing him at your baby shower recently. He showed up.
Yep. It was his birthday. He came to my baby shower on his birthday. What a good guy.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, the Rocks was such an iconic place. It was always good for me to be like, I know the guy there, to get in there, and it was also just a fun environment. And you worked there for how many years?
3 years. That's like where I built a really good network of just kind of up and coming artists, up and coming creatives, even big artists. Like I built a relationship with Post Malone and his crew from there when they were coming, even to the point where we flew out to see him at Red Rocks. Took care of us completely the whole time. It was incredible. Been to multiple shows. We used to go to the studio with him literally when he was recording Beer Bongs and Bentleys. He would come in, party, we'd finish, I'd close up the bar, we'd go to the studio, and we would just watch him create that album, and it was incredible. There'd be multiple times. There's one time he was actually finishing the vocals on the album, and everyone else had left. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning. To me, him, and Lou in the studio, and he's done vocals, completely finished with the album, pretty much with his part of it. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Who's he? Like, anyone want to drink with me?" I'm like, "Absolutely." We sat there and probably drank 30 Bud Lights between the two of us, and it's just an awesome like moment, like random stuff like that would happen from that place.
That's so cool. And was that Electric Feel Studios?
Yeah, Electric Feel right down the street.
Yeah, you brought me there before, once or twice.
I mean, Stud used to work out of there too, so we used to go there for that. Again, Lou was working with both of them, so it's kind of Lou's spot, and then they both ended up being with Electric Feel too at the time. So yeah.
Yeah, no, those moments are super special. I mean, I love like I've had some special moments with like on MGK's career and like yeah, I was around some of the Chainsmokers stuff on the early days and Griffin, a lot of Griffin, but yeah, you too. Just like you spoke to Post Malone, it's that really special film, and like this guy just got done on a fucking
Massive
yeah.
album.
Turns
Like,
out to be like, did he win a Grammy for that?
I
Or
think Congratulations might have won a
yeah, yeah, he
Grammy.
definitely hit surpassed awesome accolades.
Yeah, it's huge numbers on Spotify.
Yeah, but you're sitting there with a guy who's so just genuine and human at the time.
So genuine, the most real person you'll ever meet. Just like likes his things the way he likes them.
Yeah,
Loves his Bud Light, loves his cigarettes.
Yeah.
Nicest guy, honestly. Like the relationship, I mean, what ended kind of with On the Rocks was this kind of iffy, but he came in one day and I like opened the bar for him, everything. Guy left me a $5,000 tip.
Holy shit.
Just for me. I was the only person
I think I
working.
remember something like this.
5K.
Yeah.
And then we had like an argument with the owners of who the tip was for and if I should split it and this and that, which ended up leading to me leaving On the Rocks. But literally left me 5K, looked me in the eyes. I was like, dude, the machine won't even take this. He goes, Noah, figure it out. I'm leaving this for you. Like, look, and people like were watching him do it too. I was just like, what the fuck? This is wild. I was like, it's very necessary. That paid my rent for like 3 months. I was like, this is great.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
no,
pretty
it's just a
awesome.
true testament that why he did that was he saw how hard you work, how invaluable you are to his life. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's something special that you do really well, and I hope I do well. Is like we treat these artists like humans and friends, first and foremost. I mean, even
Absolutely.
like going back to your Tom Petty, Neil Young thing, like you didn't get starstruck.
I mean, I wish I
Maybe
could have
you
gotten
did.
starstruck.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was the worst part.
Yeah, but sometimes we're in the zone of like what we do that we are just doing the mission and we'll treat people normally, like
100%.
how they will, and they respect that. They see that whether you're doing it on purpose or not, they have a lot of respect for someone that like doesn't just come up for a selfie or an autograph.
Exactly. I mean, it takes a relationship a lot further because
Yeah.
they have faith in you. They believe in you just like it being a normal person and not just being their friend to, to take those next steps in life. Like I wasn't being friends with them to like further my career. I was just bartending. Like I wasn't trying to, I had no idea I would ever get into the music industry at all.
Yeah.
And later into like, I know wherever else it's taken me, but
Yeah, yeah, and then that I guess that kind of leads to that next question. Was you worked with Bozzy for a
I did.
while?
I was Bozzy's personal assistant for 3 years or 2.5 to 3 years.
Was that right after the Rocks?
It was. So there was a little bit of, bull crap in between just because I needed to figure it out. And then one of my good friends, Jordan Levine, who's an incredible tour manager. He's tour managed everyone
Oh,
from
yeah.
G-Eazy, Huey, Bozzy, Tyga. I know there's more. I just can't think of it. Yeah.
No, those are good. Listen, all right
Yeah.
there.
This guy is so.
Does he have his own tour company?
No, he works with Wasted Potential with Chad, who does, again, another.
Yeah, I worked with Jack Harlow with Chad here. Did
Yeah.
a video with Jack here with Chad.
Yeah, Chad does every artist, like so many, and so Jordan is one of his main guys. And Jordan was working with Bozzy, and he was like, "Dude, would you want to leave like the bar industry?" And I was like, "Well, little do you know, I already left the bar industry.
Yeah,
I'm looking
actually,
for something.
I just
so
did, yeah.
whatever you want to give me right now, I'm ready to take." And
Yeah.
that was the opportunity. I got to start working with Boz, and we became really good friends immediately. Just like kind of hit it off again. I was a little nervous in the beginning, like tiptoeing around stuff, but then once we started to hang out more and more, we just got really close. And then we got to the point where like he was taking me just everywhere. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like a normal assistant job where it's like, oh, go get this, this, and this, and then go home. It'd be like, go get this, this, and this. Let's hang out and have 12 beers and go to this, the event, and go here. And take me like I'm walking into these houses sometimes. I'm like, what the hell? Again, another one of those like, what am I doing here moments? But would just be myself, and everyone again. I got along with a lot of his friends too because I met most of them at On the Rocks at some point. They're like, "Oh, Noah, what are you doing here? You're not working at On the Rocks anymore." I'm like, "No, I'm working with Boz now."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, that's dope," and that's how that panned out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, we got to tour. We did Jingle Ball tour. I never got to really do a full tour just because when I was working with him, it was COVID. But I got to watch him create his last album that he just released, and that was like incredible to see him and his producer Kevin work together. Because I was also shooting like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff for it, from video to pictures. And yeah, just watching them create was incredible. They're very talented people, and it's awesome to see them do their stuff.
Yeah. No, that's all important. Yeah, you kind of found your way into shooting after that. Like you
Yeah, I
now,
mean,
yeah.
it's Bozzy was actually the person that got me into any type of
Oh,
photography.
that's cool.
When I started with him, he was like, "I'm gonna be bringing you everywhere. I want you to always have a disposable camera with you, like no matter what,
Was that
have
his
one on
choice,
you."
like disposable, like
Yeah, it
not
was
like a
100%,
DSLR?
100% his
Yeah.
choice. Film. He was like the one that got me into it. And I brought a disposable around for like a year and a half, and I shot everything we did, everything, and to a point where I was like, "All right, you okay if I make an account with this?" Started my film account like I would say like 3 years ago in December,
Yeah.
and just been posting on it literally almost around every day since, and it slowly started to take off. I mean, again, he was getting me in rooms with crazy people. I'm touring with him, a Jingle Ball tour. It was like Halsey, Normani. I would have a relationship with Halsey from On the
Yeah.
Rocks, and she actually this is actually a good one.
Yeah.
So that tour, we're all like backstage. I don't think Boz and Halls had ever met yet, and we're walking like towards her to introduce Boz and Halsey together, and she's like, "Noah, what the hell are you doing here?" Comes up, gives me the biggest hug. This is like in front of all the managers,
Yeah.
everything, and I'm just like,
Flex.
"Oh, I'm working with Boz now." Like, dude, it was so funny. After like we finished, they said their highs. We took a bunch of pictures. We went back to the green room. Boz was like, "How the fuck do you know her?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. I just know people. It's just how it
I always
works."
say, Noah's a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy.
It's so funny, dude. Like
Yeah.
that was a really cool one. But yeah, I would have the disposable, would shoot everything, and then he was dating a girl named Renee at the time, and she bought me like her and her twin sister bought me like a step up from a disposable for my birthday, and after that I just fell in love with film
Yeah.
cameras, and I was like, I just saw how much better it was than the disposable, and then I was like, all right.
Dude, it is. I've switched over to like Polaroid a lot more,
Yeah.
and it's just cool just getting the Polaroid and like the one shot, like however it turns out.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
There's like a something about it, just not knowing how the pictures came out and having that wait to see it when you get them back.
Oh, especially yours too. Like, yeah, at least Polaroid I can get in. I see in like
You
a
see it
minute,
a little bit, yeah.
But
at
I
least
love that yours was like
takes a
nah,
few days at
yeah.
least. And that's also like what happened when you would bring it. Like he would bring me to a house like full of celebrities for a party, and I would just shoot. No one really felt like I was like
Invasive.
invasive because it's
Yeah.
not a cell phone. I'm not posting it immediately.
Yeah.
It's like it's going to take me at least 3 days to get this
Yeah,
back. Like
yeah.
no one will know where we were. Like
Right.
you know what I mean?
That's really
and
cool.
I was also very good about sending them to people first before posting. Like I would ask him to like text his buddy like, "Hey, I have this picture. Will you make sure it's cool if I post this before I do?" So I would never throw up pictures that people didn't want or like
Yeah.
didn't like or didn't.
Yeah, you
approve.
respected their privacy.
Yeah, getting approval was a big thing first. Like because again, there's a lot of like bigger people
Yeah.
that I was shooting, and it was like
And I love that like you did it for the love of it and the fun of it.
It was for a job first,
Yeah.
and then I fell fully in love with
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
100%.
but like how you're posting, like, and I love like whether you do it or not, but like you're just posting what it is, and
It's what I do.
it's just what
my
it
life.
is. Like, yeah, it's just your life, and like every time you post on your other account, like Noah 35 millimeter baby, which I love how you
Thank
did that.
you. Love play on it.
Yeah, yeah. It's cool because it's just like a medley of just like a montage of the moments and really genuine raw moments of
Yeah.
people that are like I'm blanking on the name, Sprouse, the actor.
cool.
Yeah, like him or other artists, and yeah, it's just really cool how whenever you see that and people just are like, yeah, that was just like a fun moment, and like it was great what you just said.
Yeah, it's
You're not
just
posting
it's
right
all
away.
natural. It's none of it's like posed. I don't do photo shoots. I just bring my camera everywhere I go, and just when we're hanging out, I'll just take pictures. And
Yeah.
sometimes they turn out really good, and I've definitely shot a lot of shitty ones too. I've had full rolls come back completely blurred, and I'm like, well, fuck, okay, because I still don't fully know what I'm doing.
No one knows what they're doing. Man.
Yeah,
Nobody gets it,
I'm
right?
fully-
There's the plug again. But it's all trial and error too with the photos. Like how I always tell people with like DSLR wise, like it's like you got the f-stop, the ISO, and the shutter speed, right? And there's no right answer. It's how the photo's going to take. Like
Yeah.
however you want to mix up those three components, and it comes out like it's just the viewer. It's director's choice how it is.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like, again, cameras. Normally the point and shoots are pretty easy, but then when
Yeah.
I stepped up to like me trying to manual focus, and I wasn't the greatest with those, so I just kept it simple with the point and shoots.
Trial and error, man.
Yeah,
Dude, trial
I
and
stick
error.
to what works.
Yeah. But you were able to get like a cool little like retainership out of it.
Yeah, I actually still shoot lifestyle photos for Mason 9, which is Post Malone's Rosé. If you look at their Instagram, the majority of photos on that page are photos that I shot. I'll shoot like Boohoo events randomly here and there. I've shot gender reveals. I've
Yeah.
shot birthday parties, just like random stuff that people are like, I want exactly what you do just at this event. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. So
Yeah.
I go have a few drinks and just kind of let loose, just start.
A few drinks, yeah.
You got to. I mean, I hate going into those events and like you don't know anyone. You're like, excuse me, can I take a picture of you? So, you got to get the nerves off first.
Yeah,
A few
no.
cocktails and then you're rolling into it.
Oh, you've been to obviously a lot of events and really good monumental events. You've been to like Super Bowls.
Ton
You've
of
been
Super
to
Bowls.
tours like you said, Bozzy. Is there any specific event that sticks out in your mind as like that was one of the funnest or wildest events I did, or I can remember? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, Post Malone's birthday, like July. It was like July 4th. I want to say it was like 20.
Is that his 4th of July birthday?
Or like he's either the second, third, or fourth.
Yeah, I remember he's always supposed.
But it was like a combined birthday, and I wasn't even shooting. I was still bartending at the time, and I'm playing against 21 Savage in beer pong, and I'm like talking so
I
much
remember you telling me
shit.
this story.
Like,
Yeah,
I
21
was
Savage.
a little buzzed up, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm hitting cups. I'm starting to run my mouth. I'm going, which cup do you want? I'm telling him to like choose cups. I have him pick a cup, and I just nail it. Like, don't even like look at it, nail it. And he's like, you could tell he like kind of, when my friend at the side was like, no, I literally thought you were gonna get beat up. Like, it's like him and his buddy, they're both wearing like all red. Like,
Yeah.
like what? Like, no,
Pick
chill
a cup.
out. Yeah, I'm talking shit on beer pong.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I just felt comfortable. I was like, there's no way he's gonna fight me here. We're at a birthday party. But
Yeah.
it was a pretty funny one. A more recent one with Haha, I was at the Super Bowl with the Chainsmokers. We did a bottle signing in Phoenix, which was pretty fun. And then they played the Chiefs after party right after they won the game. Mm-hmm. And that was very, very fun, to the point like the Super Bowl trophy was right there. Travis Mahomes are ripping Haha shots. Like,
that's legendary.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was awesome to see. They're awesome people. Travis Kelce's probably one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. They're so nice.
Would you say athlete-wise, coolest athlete you've met and hung out with? I mean, there's definitely a lot you've been around.
I'm trying to think of. I mean, I'm kind of biased towards Raven players.
Right.
Like meeting Ray Lewis, I was like, that's my boy.
Oh shit! Yeah,
that was a really good one.
Yeah.
But again, he's a little older. Travis Kelce.
Yeah, he's like right in our generation, and just like that. I mean, he's probably gonna go down as top 3 safeties of all time.
100%. Or well, Ray Lewis.
No. I'm sorry, not safeties, tight ends.
Yeah,
what am I
tight
saying?
ends. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, top 3 tight ends of all time.
Kelsey's good, and I mean, OBJ was pretty cool too, especially because that was in the off season, and now he's gonna be a Raven. So I'm like,
shit,
dude, he took my film camera in the club and was like taking selfies with it at the Super Bowl, and I was like, this is pretty wild right now. Like OBJ just taking it. He's taking pictures of like me, Alex, and Drew on the other side. I was like, this is cool.
That's so cool, man.
So there's been some good experiences. Again, there's a lot of just kind of blend up here.
I know. I feel that way too. Like we've been here now 10 years.
Yeah.
And we're like, there's so many different just things that have happened in 10 years, and you just kind of forget.
I forget them all the time, and then someone will bring it up. That's why another great thing about these pictures is I have, it's like, probably since I started, I probably have 17,000 film photos.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah. Like,
wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I'll show you later.
You got a photo book like going?
So at the beginning, I used to print all of them.
Yeah.
And I have like 6 huge binders, probably like this thick, completely full. And then I have bins of like the thing, you get your film back in like this little bag or like paper bag pretty much. And I haven't unloaded a lot of them. So I have to like, eventually I'll do it one day.
You need to get like an intern or assistant to help you out, man.
I don't know if I can afford that right now.
No, you just put it up on like, maybe get an ad and be like, yeah, I need a little intern.
A little help. Yeah. I mean,
there's enough value. I mean, we can even go into it, what you're doing now, but like marketing, I mean, you do a lot of stuff that anyone could use the help on with all the things that are going on, and it's also a thing that like people want to learn from us, man.
Yeah.
Like what I'm doing here, what you're doing as well, up until what you're doing now, but like especially what you're doing now with Haha Tequila, which is the Chainsmokers tequila.
Yep.
Doing marketing
and events.
Yeah.
My technical title is the West Coast Field Marketing Manager.
Cool.
Which is kind of like I kind of do a lot of stuff with the guys, piggyback like off of their events. Like if they're like just recently they played the Houston Rodeo, we brought them there and we did a bottle signing, and I would just kind of coordinate the bottle signing, make sure there was time in between their sound check, and make sure Clancy was happy with us. Mm-hmm. Make sure we didn't take them for too long and we got them back on time for their show. Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, but it's a lot of fun. It's a really cool company to work for. get to
You get to be
party
creative,
a lot.
too.
Yeah, this is my like first actual real like office type job.
Yeah.
Even though we don't really have an office in LA, but it's like my first job that I'm like
There's some structure.
I'm writing emails to people on a daily basis. Like when I first started, I was like, guys, I just want to let you know, like this is very new to me.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know how to use a keyboard.
Yeah, when I was a personal assistant, no, I could type. But like when I was a personal assistant, like my job was like whatever Bosley was doing that day. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
Yeah,
it was
not
never,
thinking ahead.
No,
Like
it was never a scheduled day. It was never like, all right, we have this, this, and this. It was like, all right, I'm gonna be in the studio today. Come through, do this, this, and that. You know what I mean? It would change daily. And now to kind of have some type of routine and know what my weeks look like and kind of a schedule, it's been world changing.
yeah. How big is like the marketing side of things? Or
So we're like 5 people on our team.
It's just West Coast or all over?
All over.
Cool.
I'm the only one on the West Coast. We have 2 on the East Coast and 1 in the Midwest.
Cool.
So actually we're 4 now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's a cool, I mean, I think it works really well with you. I mean, you're creative, you know how to bring people together, you network, events, and like dealing with vendors. Like it's all just a perfect storm for what you've learned to do.
it's crazy how all of this has come to this and like how it's worked out. Just even like connections from On the Rocks. Like I know bar managers that I've convinced bar managers to bring in Haha, and I'm like, see, that's what I'm talking about. I need you, man. And that stuff is very, very helpful. And then multiple events. I've worked with these people in the past. I've worked with them at restaurants, and they're now running like an event company.
Yeah.
Or to the fact that people are doing stuff with artists. They're like, hey, could you get Haha into this? And it's cool to like bring those events to my bosses and to make sure that, you know, they work for us. And a lot of times they do, which is dope.
Yeah. And that's important. What you just said is like, it's all about the connections that you have made years ago that you are going to, you know, recycle back in a few years, whether you knew it was going to happen or not.
Never burned bridges.
Right.
That's one main thing I didn't do. Sometimes when I was getting fired at restaurants, but I was like, those bridges are okay.
Whatever, man. Yeah, those.
But for the most part,
Yeah.
I never really burned bridges. I've stayed friends with most of the people I've met.
Yeah.
Just try to stay in touch with everyone, which again, that gets really hard as you grow older and, you know, your life starts moving on. It's very hard too, but I tried to my hardest.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I mean, people could say the same thing about you. It's like this guy, you know, 4 or 5 years ago was just like a bartender at the Rocks, and now he's running like the marketing for a tequila company. So it's like people, and same to like, you never know where someone's going to go in a couple of years. And you always want to stay close with those people. Not like you want something out of them, but it's like, you just never know where they're going to turn up.
I like rooting for people too,
Yeah,
just seeing
yeah.
their success. I love seeing people that started down, like, you know, you never thought they were going to do anything crazy. And then boom, next thing you know, they're managing like some big artist or
Yeah.
like something like that. Like I love seeing people succeed, especially people I know and friends that I came up with in LA. Like seeing you do all this has been incredible.
Thanks, man.
You have a fucking record label. Like what?
I know.
It's wild.
Yeah, I never thought that would happen.
Yeah.
I never thought that would happen. And like, yeah, the production company, I always knew like I was going to be doing that.
I
And
knew that was, I mean, I knew you were going to get that, but
Yeah.
the record label to me is still wild.
Yeah, the record label, and then
You're working with dope artists. Like,
yeah,
it's so awesome
yeah.
to see.
And I don't know if I told you recently, and probably when it comes out, I'll still be working on it. But like the Clippers, I do a lot of the Clippers stuff, and they recently like are trying to have me more in like working internally with them.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and they kind of
that new stadium's going to be wild.
That's pretty much my project is like doing and we should talk about that for like what you're doing too, and how to incorporate both. But yeah, like my main mission for the next 2 years is how to like market this dome really well and the content around it. So I get to work really close with them.
That's
And,
so awesome.
And I was like, do I get a ring if like we win? They're like, yeah, we'll talk about it. I'm like, that's tight.
All right. They have a solid squad right now,
Dude,
too.
I know. Especially if they
It's
bring
got to
in.
get healthy. If Kawhi stays healthy,
Yeah.
that's the main thing.
Yeah, they're trying to just get over that hump and be, you know. But yeah, the dome stuff is really cool in Inglewood, and I'm happy I'm kind of like going to be working on that kind of project. But yeah, we should
that's
definitely
awesome.
talk about how
Figure
that could
something
work
out.
work with that
Get
stuff.
some haha in that stadium.
I know.
That'd be dope.
I know. I'm sure Russ or someone would be doing something for y'all like that.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah. So, and then also, yeah, I mean, touching to some personal life, like it was also important for me to have Noah on because Noah is expecting a baby here soon. The real Noah M baby.
And actually like 30, I think we're at like 33 days right now.
That's crazy, man.
August 25th is the due date. It'll be my first child. We don't know the sex of it yet. We've been waiting. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I still feel like a child sometimes. I know I'm 34 or 33, 34, but I still feel young. I feel young at
Yeah,
heart.
yeah, you're gonna be a great dude. The thing is, I know you're gonna be a great dad. Like, you're such a good person with kids and people. I didn't expect it to happen this soon.
I
On ya.
didn't either. I didn't either. It's definitely a little surprise, but it's a surprise that I'm like very, very excited about. We've been preparing for it, and now it's just like it's happening.
What's been the hardest thing you've learned so far right now? Is it like change? Is it like
It's
what
the
is it?
change of life, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't really fully made the change yet, but like just seeing everyone out and about all the time. Like, I do love my social life. I do love going out. I am a social bug.
Yeah, you
I
are.
always have FOMO. I like will scroll through and see stuff, and I'm like, damn, I'm not there. It's going to be really transitioning into just like the first 2 or 3 months. Like, we're not going to be really leaving our house much. Like, it's going to be working from home. We'll go to the grocery store. We'll do walks around the park. Like, I'm not going to be going out and about like I used to, which is going to be difficult because I'm used to just being on the run, being on the go. And I've been trying to get ready for it. Like this last month, I've been like picky and choosy about places I'm going and like parties I'm going to, just because I know that I have to get ready to start staying in. And that's going to be tough. That change for sure is going to be difficult. Learning a new schedule for the baby is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Building the nursery was actually kind of fun. I really enjoyed that part.
Didn't the chain smokers gift you the cradle?
Yeah, they got us the crib. They literally looked at my registry and were like, "What's the most expensive thing on here?" And I was like, "Yeah, probably the crib." They're like, "All right, we got that." And I was like, "My boys, like that's so awesome."
That's sick.
I'm gonna tell my baby one day the chain smokers bought your crib that you grew up in.
That's fucking tight.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was pretty pumped about that.
Hell
when that
yeah.
happened.
No, dude, your baby's going to get so spoiled by the connections that you and Mercedes have.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think,
excited
and
for
that's so
everyone to
cool.
meet the baby. Drew and Alex have been so helpful since. They've been awesome. I mean, they're the reason I got the job at Haha. Without them, I mean, them and their like team, Josh Klein, their business manager, was a huge part of me getting the job. So he was also working with Bozzy, and
Okay.
he was like, "Dude, it's just you need to grow." Like, I was an assistant for 3 years, and he was like, "It's time for you to get something, more grown up." And luckily, I got that, because now having the baby, I don't think I could be a personal assistant and a father at the same time.
Yeah.
Those are two things that just wouldn't really work. Personal assistant's like you're on call 24/7. Like,
Seriously.
you're working. Like,
Yeah,
I
you're
wouldn't-
now a personal assistant to your baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
I love
putting
that
it out.
shirt you guys got that was like 2 a.m. my crib, bring a bottle. I was geeking out when I
Dude,
saw that.
We saw that in the store. I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
We have to get this. So
Yeah.
I made Mercedes buy that.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get you guys a little gift.
Thank you,
a little, probably Aviator Nation gift.
Oh,
I still have the
I'm not
plug
mad
there.
at that. That's fresh. That works for boys and girls. 'Cause
Yeah.
we don't know the sex yet.
Do you want to drop the baby name on here or nah?
We
Secret.
have.
I know it. I already know it.
We have 2 names
yeah,
picked
yeah.
out, boy, girl, and then we're not 100% on them yet, because we want to see the baby's face. Because sometimes you'll see a baby's face, and you're like, I don't know if that's actually the right name for that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to see their vibe and kind of what kind of energy they're exuding, and then we'll pick the name from there.
Yeah,
We do have 2 in mind though.
yeah,
I'm gonna keep that one.
yeah. We'll
quiet.
keep it there, man. When you come back on, 'cause
Actually, when is this gonna air?
this should air in I want to say September, probably
Oh,
around
well-
your birthday.
well, the baby
Oh,
will
the
be
baby will
born.
definitely be born.
It'll be born.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
so,
Baby will definitely be born.
If it's a boy, we're thinking Shia.
Yeah.
If it's a girl, we're thinking Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah,
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, that was it. Sorry, Sunday.
Nickname Sunny. We'll
I
call
like
a
it.
little
Sunday and Shia. I like
Yeah.
it both. And your last name's Sadoun, so Shia Sadoun.
My
Sunday
father's
Sadoun.
name is Simon. Little ode to him on the initials.
He was a G.
SS.
I'm talking to him at your
Oh,
shower.
dude, Simon's great. Great
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. Noah's Furniture they gave you one of the first jobs you had.
That was so. We didn't go deep. That's a deep
That's
dive.
a deep dive
That's
into
a
that, man.
before LA.
When Noah left Coastal, when we were partying so much, yeah, he had an opportunity back in Maryland, and that was the first business opportunity.
I owned a furniture store.
Yeah.
It was literally called Noah's Furniture. I was the boss, the manager, everything.
Not a bad gig there.
No, it was great at the time, but I just wasn't responsible enough and mature enough to
Well,
be.
who is at like freaking 21?
It was like 19, 20.
19.
Yeah. When
Yeah,
I started
20.
19, and then by the time I kind of ran it to the ground, I was like 22.
Oh my god,
Yeah, it was an experience. It was definitely an interesting
I
experience.
feel like you've lived so many different lives in the last 10 years
For sure.
or 15 years.
15, yeah. That's back then.
Yeah,
But then when that finished, that's when I learned how to bartend, and that's what kind of led me to LA. I was like, if I can bartend in Maryland, I can fucking do this anywhere.
Yeah.
So why would I stay here?
Yeah.
That's when I left.
and that's why you and Nick just like picked up to go.
Picked up and just wung it.
Yeah,
And that's the full circle.
yeah, and that's what just like I don't know. I mean, yeah, the whole theme of this context is like, what is it nobody gets about Noah, or what is it nobody gets about the career path, the work ethic? I think, and you can kind of think on it as I want to kind of get your answer. Like, what is it nobody gets about, something we want to tell this listeners out here? I think for you, it's just like, I don't know. For me, what I'm taking is like, yeah, nobody gets just like how you being yourself just creates the career path sometimes.
100%.
Like yeah.
And just being genuine. Again, when I moved out here, my dad was completely against it, like 100% completely against it. And I saw the relationships I built even in Maryland. Like, again, I've always been a people person and knew everyone in Baltimore before I left. And I just explained to him, I was like, Dad, if I go out there, again, I'm going to start as a bartender, but there's so many opportunities in Los Angeles, particularly, especially in like the music industry, movie industry, whatever. I was like, I'm going to meet someone that's going to like me and give me an opportunity. And slowly but steadily, each job I had was someone like, no, I'd fuck with you. Like, you could do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. And slowly but steadily, I would figure it out and do it.
Yeah, I think what nobody gets sometimes is just like how easy, not how easy, because it sounds a lot like it just falls in your lap, but
yeah,
it's like just like, yeah, like someone takes a shot, seeing your value, and you also being like a yes man and trying these new things leads to a lot of this too.
100%. So like you were saying, people will give someone an opportunity that isn't as quite qualified if they believe in them and they like them and they enjoy their company. Yeah. I see that any day of the week. Like, again, you could put my resume next to someone else's and someone will have college, this and that, all these office jobs. But my real life and real world experiences, I think, kind of outweigh them sometimes, just in the fact that, I don't know. Again, this is how I feel about it.
No, you're dead right.
Sometimes I think that just goes further than just, learning something from a book.
I think so. Experience over education. Not to knock at anyone that going to college.
No, not at all. I would never knock that.
Yeah, I did 4 years, and I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met Jess Jennings, who gave me stuff at Pandora. And yeah, that's actually funny because like Ben Farber was on here the other day. Remember Ben from Pandora?
Yeah, Ben's great.
Yeah,
love Ben.
We were talking about Pandora days, and man, do you remember like we used to stay at that Coachella estate?
Oh yeah, all the events. I would go to every event possible.
We did, yeah. We go to every event possible, and we would stay on the villa sometimes. Me and you.
Yeah, I had slept in like the guest house, like in the back.
We were talking about that, dude. I think there was that one year at Coachella where oh my god,
I jacked up my ankle on the diving board. And they gave us passes for the last day, and I crutched around.
You crutched around. Me and Flynn were with you, crutching around. I think eventually we got on a golf cart at the end of the night at one night.
Like, dude, he needs help. Look how. Plus, I was hammered crutching, which not a good combination. Don't mix booze and crutches.
Yeah, definitely not. That's what we take from this one. Don't mix booze with crutches.
Man.
But no, that was like super awesome. How it just testament. Like I was going, like I wouldn't have met a lot of the greatest people that gave us great experiences, but it gave us great opportunities as well. And I mean, I met amazing people, but experience over education. I say it a lot to these interns here because they like, even today I was giving them kind of like a lesson on like the record label stuff and some deal we're going with, but like they're like, I think one of them even said like, you don't learn this in school.
No,
like,
you don't.
You're not going to learn this around the school. Like how we're just doing these things that, they're getting firsthand how to make a podcast and being on set with us and learning the inner workings of a contract with labels. And it just goes to the testament. Like you're just going to learn by just working around people that are doing it.
People that are doing it, seeing it day to day, and just like watching it happen. I mean, in the music industry, like watching Boz do his day to day and watching Jordan map out the tours and do all that.
Oh, that's a huge piece of a thing.
Again, it's stuff that you don't just learn. You can't go to school for that. You need to learn it, doing it and watching it happen.
Yeah, trial and error too. I mean, you don't want to like error it too much because there's a lot on the line, but it's a lot.
I mean, I definitely fucked up some. Don't get me wrong.
Me too.
Definitely got yelled at a lot. But
yeah.
That's why I'm good with people, because then like you're like, all right, I can't be mad at Noah. Like he's such a good dude. Like come on.
yeah, he means well.
He means well. Like he was trying.
He was trying to mean any malicious intent.
And then I would get away with stuff.
Yeah. But the only way you're gonna learn is just by going and being proactive and like learning too. Just being open minded to learning from people, learning new things, and just trying these things.
100%.
It's just. I'm happy how much like I've got to experience the last 10 years, and same with you. Yeah. And we've just kind of loved.
It's awesome to grow up. Like, I mean, not even grow up. We were kind of adults, technically adults, when we moved out here. But it's nice to see the path that we've taken and the growth we've had since we've been here.
Yeah, and we've kept like our friendship along the way, but we've had our friends also just like be every step of the way. And I think that's something like, not to toot our own horns here, but we've always stayed true to like our, for instance, like East Coast friends, right? They all see what we do on a daily basis. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
It's a different life.
It's a different life. Who are you hanging out with? I don't get it. I just don't get it. But we're always so willing. Like, I know you bring your friends out to the Hamptons at this like backstage.
100%. Any chance I get to show one of my friends like or use like my connections or something on my friends back home, it's my favorite thing in the world.
I was about to say, isn't that the best thing?
It's the best thing in the world. Like Super Bowl, with like multiple friends from home, East Coast, they would come out and we're like, I'm walking up like, we're on this list, boom, get in, all access bracelets. We're like literally on the stage while they're performing. They're like, dude, this is a wild life. Like how there's thousands of people in the stands trying to get that experience, and I'm just like pulling them in to do it. That's an awesome thing to be able to do for your friends.
Yeah, you give them these experiences that they work a lot of like 9 to 5s, or they work like office jobs. They're not used to being around these people that they're listening to on Spotify or seeing on TV. But then you bring them around, you're like, yeah, this person's could just be like you and I all hanging out. They could have been playing pickup with us when we were a kid, or beer bong and playing pong with us in college. Like they really would, and they struck a lot of luck. They worked hard at their careers, and
I mean they're all crushing it in their own aspects too. It's funny, it's just a different life. The East Coast, West Coast, and the music industry, and then your office jobs, like your finance industry, like they're just so different. But it's nice to be able to bring them together when you can. Yeah,
it's nice to bring them together. And like then they like I think I had Tony Palmer was at like a show in Echo with all the boys, like Ed Ward and them, and John Summit. It was a John Summit show.
Yeah, he rages.
Yeah, and they were like backstage with him, and then all of a sudden like they just out of a whim like, yo, come to our after party. He's like, all right, where? And he like, they're like, oh, this and that. He really showed up, and he played like at Tony's apartment, like a DJ set, like till 6 in the morning. And they're like texting me videos, hanging out with them. They're like, dude, he was so cool, like amazing. I'm like, yeah, man, like
artists are real people.
They're real people, man. Like they want to hang out. Yeah, like yo, if you treat them like real people, they're gonna treat you back with just as much respect as a friend. 100%. And they were so stoked how awesome it was. I'm glad they experienced that awesome feeling, not just because they got to hype it up in their apartment, but like now you see kind of like what we see a lot is like just treat them like normal people, invite them around, and they really might just fucking show up to your house.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah,
that's so fun. It's a good story.
I know they've. I'm about to go to Mykonos with them in a couple of days.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Get last little vacation time in.
Last little summer vacation, and then back to so much fall work. It was slow this summer with all the strikes and shit.
Yeah.
But it was also good because I made this podcast. I made some films last quarter, like short films I wanted to do. Because I was on such a train of like the music videos for a long time. And now it was like, okay, like things are a little slow or the budgets are weird. I'm just going to like stay true
Focus
to things.
On your own stuff.
Yeah. There's been like the show I want to make, like the Pure Space show. I think I've told you about this for a while. It's just been cool, like having people help me make original shit.
Yeah, you got a solid crew here.
Yeah. Nah, man, they're all solid back here. Crew. It's fucking great. It's been really cool is having like the younger generation around you helping, because like TikTok, for instance, right? A lot of them are.
I'm not savvy.
I'm not savvy at all.
I still got Instagram, luckily, but like I'm savvy.
On Instagram. I can do Instagram, but I can't be on that app more than 5 minutes. I just can't scroll. I can't.
It makes me feel old.
Dude, yeah. Like me and Ben were on this the other day, and we're like, dude, are we not cool anymore? Like,
I never thought the day would come. Like I'll always know these apps, man. I'll know how to do all this stuff forever, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Even Threads the other day, I was like, what is this shit?
Yeah, too much. But they keep us on our toes where they like will tell us things that we're not understanding on things, and they just really give a good perspective of how the generations go with film or entertainment or music. And that's why I love, like, again, like they're getting their first opportunities with us. We give them an email, we give them the keys, and we're like, just drive, like try to go make something with what we got here. And I wish I had that for me when I was like 23.
Yeah.
But yeah, they won't ever forget. And again, they don't know where they'll go in the future, but they'll remember kind of doing this with us.
Again, relationships. It could all be full circle. Next thing you know, they get a big job somewhere, and you're like, hey, we worked together back in the day. Help us out. Let's get this connected.
It's happened. Like one of their first interns in like 2020, who was like just like a photo video editor guy for us. Like now he shoots like Revolve for like Kylie Jenner and like Paris Hilton and the girl from Outer Banks recently. But yeah, like we went
Maddie
on
Klein, that girl.
yeah, and she went to Coastal.
I did not know that.
She was a Coastal girl.
Wow.
Yeah, weirdly.
Very interesting.
Like a full circle again.
Another one.
But yeah, he like brings the work to me with we own a camera together and we bring work, but it's just like, man, you never know where those seeds are just gonna sprout in places subconsciously too. You just don't even realize it. So yeah, I'm happy how much we've been building up in here.
Yeah,
you need to get yourself an assistant intern because there's a lot to learn from you.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
One thing they definitely need to do is help you make a freaking picture book album.
I gotta put the pictures together.
Would you ever? You should do that. I mean, I think we've talked about that, but could you put all your pictures in an album and sell that as a book?
See, the only
or do you
thing,
need to get people's like rights?
I shoot a lot of people.
Yeah,
the majority of my stuff is people, and like I don't want to make money off of other people's likeness. No. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the photos. I think they're awesome. But
I don't even think it's like mainly for the money. I think it's just like the culture.
Yeah,
I would do it for more.
I would love to make a coffee table book one day. I've definitely thought about that. Picking like my top like 100 favorite photos and getting them printed real nice.
Yeah, you could even like make a coffee book and like proceeds go to like an organization.
See, that would be where it's at.
Yeah, and then I think a lot of people in that book too would like respect that too.
Yeah, because again, a lot of it's people, and I don't want I've thought about it so many times. Like, do I sell prints? Like, how am I going to sell prints of someone else's face? Like, that's not fair.
Yeah, no. I just think it's mainly for like what a cultural thing, like a thing to like look back. Like, who knows where the platforms will be? But like 10 years from now, and dude, your son will be 10, or son or daughter.
See, so I've been saving all of my negatives.
Oh yeah,
all of the
that's
negatives.
Sick.
I have every single negative I've ever shot. So eventually, hopefully, one day, I hope the son or daughter finds them and is like, what are these things? Like, film, what the hell is this? And they figure out how to develop it and see all the photos.
Yeah. No, that'd be so cool. I hope your son or daughter stays creative.
Hey, we'll see.
We're going to see.
We'll see. Definitely an athlete.
Yeah. What sport?
All sports.
All sports. Yeah.
I'm letting them play all sports until high school, then they'll figure it out.
Dude, I'm so excited for you to be a dad.
Pretty pumped too, man.
I know.
It's gonna be awesome.
I know. Man, how are we doing on time?
You're about like 55 minutes.
Oh, yeah, this is about how we do. Well, this is a great wrap up. I mean, dude, I'm so happy we did this conversation.
I'm happy to sit down with you, man.
Yeah, I know it took a little bit and the schedule was busy, but you also got the baby on the way. You got house stuff going on.
Got to figure out everything, man.
I know. I'm here to help, man. Interns are here to help too. We're all gonna help. We're all gonna rear this child together. Just kidding.
It takes a village.
Yeah, babysitter.
Takes a village.
Nah, man. Yeah, I mean, it was very special for me to have you on because, like I said, I'm trying to make like kind of the first 10 episodes are people that were really special to me on my come up journey in LA. Mm-hmm. You've been there every step of the way, every year. I feel like there's been times where we don't talk for a minute because we're so busy, but then when we talk, it feels like it's back.
Like a day hasn't skipped.
It really does. You walked in here and you're like, I haven't been here in a minute, but I felt like you were here like yesterday, and then we just picked right back up.
Knock. I walked right in.
Yeah, of course, you never do. You never need to.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it a lot. Hopefully this was insightful to someone and helps them just continue doing what they're doing, and hopefully it leads them to something awesome.
Yeah. No, I think
I could inspire one person from being on here with you, that'll make my day.
Oh, dude. I think so, man. I think it really did, man. Well, yeah, man. That being said, this is Nobody Gets a Podcast. My best homie, Noah M. Baby, Noah Sadoun. Follow him on the social. And we're all going to be here for him when his baby comes here next month.
That's good.
We all are, man.
So wild.
I know. And I need to have you back on when you have the baby.
Deal.
All
Deal.
Right.
100%.
All right. Dap.
Cheers.
My band.
Boom.
Yeah, security. Literally had the sirens in the street going and like.
The neighbor, whoever called the cops, was like, yeah, he's totally fucking.
I know. And now little does he know, like we became friends after that.